How did your twin betray you? So my twin sister and I, Emma, we were always pretty different growing up. I was the quiet one, always reading, writing, working behind the scenes. Emma, she was the loud one, popular, funny, charming. If we were movies, she'd be the summer blockbuster, and I'd be a moody indie film no one watches unless it wins an award. We both wanted to be journalists, but for different reasons. I loved uncovering the truth, researching, putting stories together. Emma just loved being on camera. She wanted the fame. She told me once that she didn't care if the news was real. She just wanted people to know her name. We ended up going to the same university. I majored in investigative journalism. She went for broadcast. We still shared an apartment and even some classes, but our lives were diverging. Now here's where it starts. In our senior year, our school had this program where 2 students were selected for a highly competitive paid internship at the Beacon, big-time national paper. For me, it was the dream. I worked my ass off for 3 years. Top grades, campus paper editor, summer internships, volunteer work, everything. Emma, she skipped classes more often than not, but she had the smile, the charisma, the ability to make professors adore her. When I got the email saying I was selected for the interview round, I cried, happy tears. Only 2 people from the whole university made it that far, and Emma was the other one. We were both nervous, but for different reasons. I prepped for weeks, researched the paper's recent investigations, practiced mock interviews, updated my portfolio. Emma went shopping for a new blazer and said, "They're gonna love me. They always do." We were scheduled back to back. She went in first. I waited outside, rereading my notes until my hands shook. And then, 5 minutes before my slot, a staff member came out and said my interview was canceled, that they'd reviewed new information and had to disqualify me. I was stunned. I asked what happened, and the woman just said, "Sorry, we can't discuss internal decisions." I left that building in a daze. Emma caught up with me outside and said, "Oh my god, they told me your interview got canceled. That's so unfair. Do you want to talk about it?" I remember her voice, so concerned, and I, like an idiot, thanked her for being there for me. But I knew something was wrong. That night, I checked my email and saw one from the university's ethics committee. A plagiarism complaint had been filed against me. It included screenshots from my final paper, an expose I'd worked on for 6 months, and claimed I had copied large sections from obscure foreign news outlets. Only the articles they cited were published after my draft was submitted. I could prove it, but it didn't matter. The internship dropped me. My professor gave me a 0, and because it was a major violation, I lost my scholarship. I didn't sleep that night. I just kept refreshing my email, hoping for a new message, a correction, something. The next day, I went to the journalism department head and pleaded with her. I showed my writing history, timestamps, everything. She said, "I believe you, but the internship program has already made their decision." I asked who filed the complaint. She said it was anonymous. But here's the thing. There were only 2 copies of that expose. One on my laptop and one printed version I left on our shared desk at the apartment 2 weeks before the interview. I confronted Emma that night. She swore she didn't know anything, got defensive, said I was spiraling, and that she wouldn't stand for being accused of something so low. So I dropped it. Until a week later, I got a DM on LinkedIn from an intern who was at the same interview. It read, "Hey, random question. Did you ever submit a piece called The Hidden Homeless? Because the girl who got the internship is using that as her writing sample, but I swear I've read it before." I felt like I got punched in the chest. I thanked him and asked if he had a copy of what she submitted. He did. He sent it. And it was my piece, word for word. Same title, same sources, same lines. The only thing she changed, the name on the byline, Heron. I stared at it for hours. Then I printed it and walked into our apartment. I found Emma in the living room, painting her nails like nothing had happened. I tossed the paper on the table. She looked at it, blinked, then gave the fakest sigh I've ever heard. "Okay," she said. I panicked. I didn't think they'd pick me, and I just needed something polished. You weren't using it anymore. I just stood there, silent. I couldn't even yell. I asked, "Why didn't you just ask for help?" And she goes, "Because you would have said no." She didn't even apologize. So I packed up my stuff that night and moved in with a friend. I submitted an appeal to the ethics board, showed them the LinkedIn message and the file. Eventually, they cleared me. I got my scholarship back, but the